Alright, hi guys. I just wanted to show you before we start the actual cooking video. This is the recipe that was selected. It is our layered strawberry dessert. Here are the ingredients that we're going to need. We're going to need 2 packages of vanilla pudding, 3.5 cups of milk, 1 prepared angel food cake torn into bite-sized pizzas. We're going to need 1 carton of whipped topping, so Cool Whip or any sort of Cool Whip-like topping, 2 quarts of fresh strawberries sliced. However, you can have more than that, especially with strawberries. You're going to need a medium bowl, a mixer, a large bowl, but you're also going to need a knife, you're going to need a cutting board, you're going to need a spoon. And here are the directions that we're going to be following. It's just a quick little scroll through. I will post this in the Google Classroom as well, but I just wanted you guys to see it up close and personal. And now we are going to get into the video. Hi guys! We are in the classroom doing a cooking video this week. I am going to do part 1 of the cooking video because we need, for the recipe that was voted on and had the most votes, was the strawberry layered dessert, which Nancy is going to help complete with me later on in the video. But one of the ingredients that we need is prepared angel food cake. So you could either go to the store and buy angel food cake, which would have been easier, or you can make it. And I believe for the recipe, we don't need to keep it intact. It would probably be, it's going to be cut up and ripped apart. So I don't really care how pretty it comes out. So we're just going to quickly do the making of the cake part. Since we're in school, and we know when we're in school, because we share our food with other people, we always put gloves on. So I'm going to put on my gloves because, especially now, I don't want to get any germs in it. So again, I got a simple angel food cake. This one is confetti. It's what we had, so I figured why not use it. All I need for this is some water and the cake mix, which is pretty awesome. It does say for me to heat the oven to 325 degrees, so I'm going to go over and heat that really quick. You know, we always have to heat our oven. And what's one thing we talk about when we are cooking and we turn the oven on? When the oven is turned on, how does it, how is it going to feel if you touch it? Hot. So we know that when we're cooking or baking using the stove or the oven, it's not a time to fool around. It's not a time to be touching it. We don't pull on it because it gets very, very hot and we don't want anyone to get burned. And that's part of our kitchen cooking safety in our classroom. So step 1 on the box just said for us to preheat the oven. Step 2 says to beat the cake mix and water in an extra large bowl, okay, on low speed, and then to beat on medium speed for a little bit longer, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. If you're making angel food cake from scratch, this is a good OT activity where you can help your family open the box, all right? Normally at school, one of the staff will just help get the tab open and someone will help either pull it, you guys would help pull it, or just go along the crease until the box is open. It's also a good time to work on our communication. So if for some reason you were struggling, you could always say help, or you could use the sign for help. You could use your device and ask for help. And then, as always in school, another friend would always help. And let me grab them, because I think I just put them away. Sorry, guys. We use scissors to open our bag because we know what happens when we don't use scissors. It gets kind of messy. And of course they're not working. Sorry guys, give me 1 second to find the pair of scissors that are not dull. Alright. And again, this is something you can do at home to help cut the bag open. Like I said, again, in the classroom, we tend to not have us rip it because we've had so many accidents where we rip it and half of the cake mix ends up all over us and the floor. So here's the cake mix. The next thing we need to do, like the directions said, was to pour it. So at home, you can have someone help you hold the bag and pour it right into the bowl. Sorry if you guys can't see. We got all that yummy cake mix right in there. And the only other ingredient we needed to add was 1 1/4 cup of water, which I went to the sink and measured out. And again, all you have to do is help your parents or whoever's at home with you and pour in the water. Let me see if I can get that out of here. There we go. Sorry again. The next part that we have to do is some of your guys' favorite part, which is using the mixer. Now at school, when you guys are here, we use a switch operator where someone would push the switch to turn the mixer on, and someone else would get to hold the mixer, and we would all take turns, and you guys would have to ask for a turn. So anytime you're at home and you're helping someone in your family make a meal or a snack, it's always a good time to work on asking to help, asking if you can help, saying that you want to turn. Let me get a better one of those. You guys know how old our mixer is. We probably should get a new one, and because we only have one of these that fits now because it got lost. So again, if you want to do this at home, it's really easy for you to say, help, I want to turn, use your sign, use your device, however you want. So you're just going to mix it first on low. That was the lowest setting. And then it said to turn it up. Everything looks like it's mixed all together, we turn off our mixer. Let me put this over here. And then we have to look at our directions. Now, most of the time in the classroom, we have our recipe, but I didn't print a recipe for this since it's right on the box. So after I mixed the cake mix and the water, it says for me to pour into an ungreased pan. So sometimes we know when we are baking cupcakes or cookies or a cake that we have to grease the pan, and we have baking spray that we spray in the pan. But this one says do not grease it, so I'm not going to. I am going to pour the cake mix right into this pan, and I'm not using an Angel Food pan because we're going to be breaking the cake apart anyway. I want to make sure I scrape everything out of the bowl because I want to get all of the batter into the pan. Okay, and it smells pretty yummy. I do wish that you guys would be here to eat it because Nancy and I don't know what to do with this cake. We're thinking we might bring it down to the office for the girls to eat it there, or maybe to the center health nurse department to give them a treat because they've been working. So what I'm going to do now is look at my recipe, and it says bake as directed. So I'm going to look right at the directions, and I'm going to put it in the oven. Okay, and after I put it in the oven, I am going to end this part of the video because I'm going to let it bake. And then when we resume, Nancy will be here and we will put together our strawberry layer dessert. Sorry about that noise, guys. You know how when we're getting pans out, they fall all over the place. So again, this was just part one, making the angel food cake. If you don't buy the prepared, I would probably recommend buying the prepared. It's a lot easier. But again, we will finish the recipe and put together our strawberry layer dessert when Nancy gets in. See you guys soon. Hi, guys. Nancy's here. I told you earlier when I made the video making the cake, don't judge me, that Nancy was going to be coming in to finish up our recipe. And again, you guys voted for the layered strawberry dessert. And please don't be disturbed by the masks, but that is part of protocol now because when you're with people that you don't live with, you are supposed to wear a mask. So Nancy and I will be covered. I hope you can hear us. So for cooking group, we always follow our recipe. I'm just going to show you the ingredients and then we'll get started. So the first ingredient on our recipe, which I will post with this video again, is we need 2 packages of vanilla pudding mix, instant vanilla pudding mix. And you know in our classroom we always have pudding mix because we use it a lot. The next ingredient is, it's over here, sorry, is we need milk. We are going to make the pudding, so we are going to need milk. You can use any kind of regular milk, plain milk, whether it's almond milk, coconut milk, or milk from a cow, okay? The next ingredient, which I made with you guys earlier, is we're going to need angel food cake. However, you could probably use any sort of a vanilla cake that you want for this, and we're going to have to tear it into pieces, so that's the fun part. We are also going to need whipped topping. We have Cool Whip, but you can use any kind of whipped topping that you honestly want. It could be the Walmart brand, a generic brand. We just happen to have Cool Whip. And last but not least, for our layered strawberry dessert, we of course need strawberries, which, hold on, we will be having to slice up. So that's some good OT.
Yes, it is.
All right. We also need, in terms of materials, you're going to need a large bowl. However, we decided since we're going to give these out to people, we're going to use cups. So you can do it in a bowl or you can use individual cups.
It'll be like a parfait.
A parfait, exactly, Nance. We're going to need a medium bowl or something that you can mix the pudding and stuff in. So we might use this or we might use the other bowl. You're going to need a knife. Remember, when we're using a knife, we have to be very, very careful because they're sharp. We're also going to need to use our mixer. So more fun with mixing. And we might need a cutting board. All right. So we're going to look at step number 1. And we're going to put the pudding and milk into the medium bowl and then mix it up. So let's do that first. And then we'll prep the other stuff.
Okay.
So I'm going to put gloves on because, again, in school we use gloves when we cook. We don't want to pass germs. And when we're making food that we're sharing with other people, we want to keep our hands nice and clean. So, when we have Miss Nancy with us, we'll use this bowl, Nance.
Okay.
When Miss Nancy's with us doing cooking, she always has a volunteer open up the pudding mix.
That's right.
Okay? So, Nancy, how do we do the box again? What's the best way for us to do it?
Yep. Usually, I always start it for one of the kids a little bit, and then either hand over hand, or if some of our students can actually open it up themselves, open this part up. Then, either with scissors, and we also have adapted scissors, Erin.
We do.
Do you see them anywhere? We'll show parents that. All
We
the
have-
kids know these.
We have adaptive scissors, so you would put it on a flat surface. The
Hold.
parent would hold it there, and the student would be able to hit the scissor and
Cut.
to cut it. But as most of you guys probably
Okay.
don't have those adaptive scissors, regular scissors that you can do hand over hand
Or sometimes, if you have good skills to grip it,
and pull.
just pulling it, because it's really just paper.
But be careful because we know we've had many accidents with it.
Dun, 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 dun.
But again, students, you guys can help open the packaging.
Can also help pour it out. Everybody does this too. They hold on, and with a little bit of help, they pour it out. So Erin's going to do the next one.
And you guys know our rule in our classroom. If you don't help, you definitely don't get the first serving.
True.
So, again, we need 2 packages of the pudding. I'm ripping it, but if you want to make sure it doesn't spill, scissors might be a better option. And we just pour it right into the bowl. And I'm just going to show you what it looks like. It's hard to see because it blends in, but that's 2 packages of vanilla pudding mix. Now, in addition to the pudding mix, we have to add 3.5 cups of milk. And Miss Nancy measured it out.
Mhm.
However, you guys know you guys can use measuring cups. You would have to pour and measure. But Miss Nancy had already measured this out. So we're going to add the 3.5 cups. And guys, again, you can help pour, whether you do it yourself or you do hand over hand. And just add it right to the bowl. Woo!
Great.
And in the bowl now we have our milk and our pudding mix. And now we have to finish up step 1, which says we need to mix it using a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you can use a whisk. It'll just take a little longer.
And when friends help, usually somebody holds the bowl, and then somebody helps one of the students, one of the friends, use the mixer. It's getting there. You can hear me.
Oh, sorry. Just, we are mixing this until it gets thick like pudding, FYI. So it could take a few minutes. You tell me when you think this looks thick enough.
I think it's good. I think it'll thick enough. We're putting it in the
Okay. Okay,
All right,
so
I'll take that.
Miss Nancy's going to put that in for us. And our mixture is now thick like pudding. Okay. We are now going to do step 2, which is we have to add the whipped topping into our pudding, and then we're going to stir it. So, Miss Nancy, would you like to open the Cool Whip for us?
Sure. I might need a knife. There's a little plastic
And again, guys, if you need to use a knife, please make sure you do it with a parent because they are sharp and can be dangerous, and we don't want to lose any fingers.
Nope.
So once we get the Cool Whip open, Miss Nancy is going to use the spatula or a spoon, whatever you have at home, and she's going to scoop it into the pudding mixture, and then we're going to stir it gently.
Good. Here it goes.
Of course they're going to start doing the long work right now. Sorry, guys. We're at school, and the maintenance guys are doing yard work with loud machines right outside.
They're beautifying outside.
And we're just going to gently stir. I'll put this down for
Yeah,
you, Nance.
yeah. So we have a lot of friends, a lot of classroom friends that help us do this. Just sometimes need two people, one to hold the bowl and one to help a classmate. But it's a fun task. All
This
right.
is also a good time to encourage your child and students that are watching this. It's a good time for you guys to speak up. You can ask for a turn. You can ask for help if you need it. Use those communication skills. If your parents ask if you want to do something, you can use your yes/no response. But again, we always try to encourage communication during cooking group 2. Having students ask to do something, responding to questions. We work on identifying ingredients.
Okay, I think we're good. Good
All
enough.
right, so step 2 is done. Once you have added the Cool Whip to the pudding, it should look like this. All right. We are going to look at step 3. And step 3 is going to have us layer the cake, the pudding, and the strawberries. And it says in a bowl, but we're going to do them in cups so we can pass them out.
Okay.
But we need to prep our berries and our cake. We're going to cut the strawberries into slices. All right. So for that, you are going to need a cutting board. And I'm going to try to lower my camera.
Cutting board?
All right. Nancy, do you want a chair?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So I'll sit.
Yep.
And you guys can see Nancy doing it, but I'll sit and do it. I'm going to move the cake out of the way for right now. I'll move all this stuff that's in the way of you guys seeing what we're doing. We're just going to have our berries.
Okay, so big slices, Erin? What do you think?
We could do big, you guys can do big slices. You could chop them if you want, however you want to sprinkle them on. But again, when we're using a knife, use it with a parent. Be safe. Do not put your fingers near the blade, okay? If you need help, always say, or always ask someone for help, but always make sure you practice safety. We want you guys coming back with all your fingers.
You could always ask for a taste, too. These smell really good.
I have a question for students watching this. Who here loves strawberries? I know it's one of my favorite fruits. What about you, Nancy?
Oh, me too.
Miss Nancy, I got to tell you something fun that I learned about strawberries, but I'll save that for school. When we get back, I'll fill you guys in on that.
Cool. Something to look forward to.
There's a video that I would show you guys, too. All right.
Okay, that's done.
And again, I just got a container of strawberries. I think it was like a pound, maybe. But it says you only need, I think, 2 pints, but you never know. It doesn't hurt having more strawberries. The next part is something that we like to do in the classroom, and it's like ripping things. We need to take our cake and rip it into pieces. It does not have to look pretty. It might be easier if you guys use a knife and just cut them into chunks. Or if you really want to get into it, you can just pull the cake apart. All right? You can just dig right into your cake and pull out chunks. All right? So we're going to start step 3. We're going to fill up the cups. The bottom layer will have the angel food cake. Then we do a scoop of pudding, and then we top it with strawberries. If you want to, you can do a repeat and do it again to have 2 layers. I think we're just going to do 1 layer, but we're just going to rip some cake, put it in the cup, and then we'll do the pudding next. So Nancy, what do you think? We should make 5 or 6 of these?
Yeah, I think.
We'll do 6. Okay, guys? And again, it's just as simple as ripping cake and putting it in.
And another way you could do it too, this spoon is a little small. We don't have the tablespoons here, but if you had a bigger spoon, you could help your child just by scooping in, taking a piece out if it was hard for them to pinch and easier to hold a spoon, and just drop it in. So either way.
Whatever works best for you guys. And we have enough cake probably to layer this up a little higher with the cake.
Okay. It's funfetti cake, guys. It looks good.
It's funfetti angel food cake, which I never saw, but we had it in our classroom. So, but like I told you guys, if you didn't want to make your own cake, you can get a pre-made angel food cake and just rip that sucker apart. I think one of the favorite things for you guys to do when we're cooking is either crushing cookies, or ripping apart stuff. I don't blame you. Now, we might have some leftover cake, and that's fine. We'll just put that aside. I am going to change my gloves because I'm super sticky. Wherever I put it right in front of my face. The next part, we are going to need spoons. You could use a small measuring cup if you want. I'm going to get another spoon. And the next part of our layered dessert is adding some of the Cool Whip pudding mix. Okay? So you can just take a couple of scoops and just plop it right on the cake. Kind of. All right. So we have cake, and then we have a layer of yummy pudding and Cool Whip. And you can just fill up your cup as high as you want with it. And again, if you choose to do it in a big bowl, you would just have the bottom of the bowl with the cake. Then the next layer would be the pudding. And then we top it off with some strawberry. Okay? You can use kitchen spoons if you have, again, a measuring cup that maybe you could get a little more. You can use that. You could use a ladle.
Yeah, a measuring cup would be a good idea. It'd be easy to hold.
It all depends on what you have at home and what works best for you. Of course I'm running out of space. I know that. Let's ignore this for right now. And it looks like we have one more. And since we have so much, we can just plop a lot in. And I know our principal's here too, so maybe we'll just deliver one to her. The last step for step 3 is we have to just add the strawberries. So we are just going to take our strawberries and you can just plop them on.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Oh, these look so pretty.
I wish you guys were here to eat them because I can't eat them. And Miss Nancy's not going to want to eat one right now.
Definitely not.
But you can just fill it up with however many strawberries you want. But the end result will be a beautiful layered dessert. Okay? Well, that is all the time we have for Cooking with Erin and Nancy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let us know if you do decide to make this recipe at home at some point and how you liked it. Nancy and I will try to do another cooking video in a couple of weeks. I will post in the Google Classroom some options for us. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had fun. I hope this tastes delicious. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Leave us some comments.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. Miss you.